Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
The outbreak of COVID-19 has, of course, impacted services across the country. But today we're going to be looking at an aspect of public transport here in the national capital. That is the Delhi Metro, which, of course, has incurred losses amounting to nearly 3,000 crore in the past one financial year, that is from March 2020 as is anticipated to March 2021. But to talk more about that, joining me today on the print is the DMRC chairperson Mangu Singh. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Sir, so I'm going to begin with just like the introduction that I gave. Of course, it's been a tough year for all of us. There has been a letter that has also been written by the DMRC to the central government asking for funds to sort of make up for the revenue. If you could throw some light on that. 169 days is when the metro was not operational till it resumed services in September. How are things looking?
Yeah, it's correct. For almost 169 days, our train services were not running, and therefore there was no revenue to us. On the other hand, the expenditure was almost same, except some saving on the power, electricity bill. And even after once the services were reopened, even then there were a lot of restrictions. Even today the restrictions are there, and therefore the number of passengers are much less as compared to pre-lockdown. And therefore even today we are not having enough revenue to meet our operational expenditure. So yes, it is really tough time, difficult situation. However, our priority was really not to look towards the financials. It's all in any case public service, and our two owners, the central government and the state government, in any case they will take care of all such eventualities. But the priority was basically to bring the confidence among our users, the commuters, and therefore all the measures required were put in place to ensure the safety of our passengers. Things like thermal scanning, sanitizers, the social distancing norms and all that. So we kept everything in position, and we are quite satisfied the way the services are running and being patronized by our commuters.
That's true, and as an active metro user myself, I think I can corroborate that we've actually seen some of that executed quite well. Before I talk more about that, just to come back to where I started, the DMRC also wrote to the centre back in November 2020 seeking some financial help, I think as far as from the governments of Delhi and Uttar Pradesh is concerned. Have you got any response from them? How are you planning to look at overcoming these losses, if I may ask?
Well, as I mentioned, we have written to two governments, the central government, Delhi government, and two states where the metro services are running.
Delhi,
Haryana,
Uttar Pradesh and
Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi and central government.
Yes.
We worked out the proportionate share to be shared by them, based on the principles already set in the sanction orders of the project. So we are hoping that something will come.
Okay.
It's still under consideration
Okay.
of the governments.
And I believe a reminder was also sent in January. Also, of course, services resumed in September, like I said, after a gap of 169 days. As you mentioned, that hasn't really helped overcome the losses as such. If you could also talk a little bit about that, and in terms of what is the difference in the number of passengers traveling earlier to now. It was a graded opening, as we all know.
Right.
So
one thing let me clarify, though the number of passengers are less today, but right from day one of reopening, we ensured that the maximum number of trains are run with the full frequency. Just to ensure that the space available inside the trains is maximum, so that we can ensure the social distancing norms and all that. When we started with few thousands, and today gradually we have reached to around 20 lakhs plus 25 lakhs some days. So this is as compared to it used to be around 60 lakhs earlier.
So that's nearly one third.
It's around one third maybe about.
I see. And also, again, as someone who's seen it for herself, of course, social distancing was implemented to the T in the beginning. And as we see the public sort of getting accustomed and with more and more things opening up, we see that sort of subsiding even as far as the usage of Delhi Metro is concerned. People are no longer taking the stickers very seriously and have started already occupying those seats which were initially not meant to be occupied. In fact, shouldn't be occupied even today as per the rules. Are we planning to address that in any way, or are we ready to run these trains to their full capacity?
No, till such time the guidelines are there to maintain the social distancing norm, to occupy the alternative seats. We are very serious about that, and we don't sort of accept that. If it is there, we will further launch the drive to ensure that people follow that, the social distancing norm. We have marked the inside the train. You must have seen the marking place on the standing and the seats also. One more thing, let me clarify. The metro systems are designed not for sitting actually. So what is important is more of standing.
Right.
And we have provided those spaces. And then how we ensure that there is no crowding, and it is just not possible to monitor each and individual passenger because the number is say 20 lakhs.
And there's so many stations.
We just can't. So how we do is actually we have a system of knowing the number of passengers in the train on real-time basis. So the moment we come to know that this particular train is already having those number of passengers, say for example 408 car train, then we know that no further passenger can be allowed in this train. So at next station we don't allow any passenger to enter. Of course there will be some passenger who will get down, and then that will be reflected in the next section, and then accordingly we will allow passenger to get in. So this is now creating a lot of inconvenience to the public because of now opening of more and more activities. There are relaxation in activities outside metro. So more people are coming. There are more needs of moving the public. They are coming more to our system, and we are stopping at the entry gate. Sometime we find the queue is as long as 200-300 persons outside the station. So this is causing big inconvenience to the passenger, but we can't help. Till such time these norms are there, guidelines are there, we have to follow that.
And I believe, but you have written again to the center seeking permission if they should be allowed, if they could be, allowed to run to their full capacity. Is that right?
No, again, let me clarify. We have not asked for full capacity.
Okay.
What we have asked that at least now on the alternative seats, that restriction should be removed.
Okay.
So we are still not asking for full capacity, what we used to have before lockdown.
Right.
But we are asking a little more relaxation so that the queue outside the station is reduced. We have large number of complaints, the representations from the public that now when all activities are open, in the buses are also allowed. Why are you not allowing? They're not understanding that it's not in our hand.
I understand.
But we necessarily get the sort of a bad name on that.
I understand. Another much talked about issue as far as the Delhi Metro is concerned is how it's going to go contactless very soon. The national mobility card system as well, the QR code. If you could talk about that, and by when can we see that happening?
Well, our smart card is also contactless. What is being attempted now is to go for national common mobility card. And we are now planning, we have already made it operational on the airport line.
Yes.
Because the airport line is a stand-alone line, separate. So it was possible to do it. Now when we have to do in the balance network, we have to do it in one go for the entire network. So we are expecting that by next year end, December 22, entire network will be able to accept the NCMC cards.
And if you could briefly tell our viewers how this will be different from the current system.
The NCMC card, as you know, this is a mandate by the government. All banks, they will issue the credit card or debit card to their customers, which will have this NCMC chip. So anybody, everybody has got a debit card from the bank. So he is not required to purchase another card like Metro Smart Card. The same debit card will be used as a Metro card, and not only Metro card, but that card will be much more versatile. He can use it for parking, can use it for buses, can use anywhere in the country. So the advantage is like that only. Anybody coming from Mumbai, he need not come go to the counter and get a smart card or token. He can use his debit card issued in Mumbai, he can use in Delhi Metro. So that is the advantage.
Right. And also, since you mentioned that it's already been implemented at the airport line, which is when the first driverless train in the country was launched on the Magenta line. Tell us how the response to that has been. How is that coming along in terms of efficiency, in terms of the project itself? And I believe the Pink Line is also expected to be driverless very soon. If you could talk about that.
This is quite successful because we introduced only after a lot of trials, testing, and for years together. So absolutely it's working well. The people may not know because this is only the operational part, but we get a lot of operational advantage, the efficiency, the time lost in the beginning to start the train, testing of the system, subsystem.
Speed enhancement is a big
so we get a lot of advantage out of that.
And what about the Pink Line,
Pink
sir?
Line, we are planning by June.
Okay.
We will make it operational.
So we should probably would hear about the Pink Line becoming driverless in another 2-3 months.
Correct.
Also, since we were talking about the side effects of COVID on the Delhi Metro, the move to have free COVID tests conducted on the stations was also really appreciated, though it was, I think, a decision taken by the Delhi government, but of course Delhi Metro was hand in hand in terms of executing it. Again, a project that was perhaps carried out in a very comprehensive manner. However, there were concerns about reports not coming in time, some changing of names, age and reports.
Well, that is not in our hand, that is the agency responsible.
Okay.
But this concept of getting tested at the station,
and that was free of cost, I think.
It is of course was mainly aiming to test our people,
right?
Our train operators, people working at the station, and once that was set up, they realized that probably the common man also can be given that advantage. So that how it came.
Right, and now of course it's been stopped since a while. Last mile connectivity continues to be a topic of debate always. Any sort of solution that has come about as far as last mile connectivity is concerned, because that's been a continuous point of contention as far as the Delhi government and DMRC are concerned.
No, one big thing in the last mile connectivity is the multimodal integration at the stations. You will appreciate all our new stations are designed in such a way that all other modes are well taken care of at this station. Whether you see Chirag Delhi or Nehru Place or any station of phase 3 new lines, there enough space for auto, enough space for e-rickshaw, it is there. So it is taken care of that way. Now, the last mile connectivity, the DMRC doing, we have in fact finalized the 2 contracts for supplying the electric minibuses.
Okay. And when is that likely to come about, sir?
The first bus probably this month end.
Oh, that's
the
lovely.
Prototype is already cleared.
Okay.
And I think by November, we should be in a position to introduce all
the entire network.
100 buses.
Right. That's good to know. And Just one last thing. Again, the Phase 4 project continues to again garner everyone's attention. How far have things reached there, and when do we see that coming up?
Well, of course, Phase 3, Phase 4, 3 corridors which are sanctioned, the works are going on in full swing. In fact, you must have seen on Outer Ring Road, there even some girders has also been erected. So it's going on very well. Even a small section, underground section, also where the tunnel boring machine has also started tunneling. So things are going on well in the those 3 corridors. There are some hiccups like tree cutting permission for passing through the ridge area. All those things are in process. These are time consuming process, and hopefully in next 2-3 months time that should also be over.
Right.
So these 3 corridors works are going on very well. The JICA loan has also been finalized now. So the bidding process for system contracts, the underground tunneling, all those will also start now. So and balance 3 corridors are in the advanced stage of sanctioning by the government. So we hope that that will also be sanctioned shortly.
So clearly a lot to look forward to and a lot of activity planned for the DMRC with all these things nearing the completion of their projects. We look forward to that and a lot more. Thank you always for being so prompt and joining us. That was of course Mangu Singh, the chairperson of the DMRC. Thanks so much for joining with Manisha Mondal. This is Anisha Bedi for The Print.